Hi, thanks for joining us. This is Emmanuel,
And this is Pacific.
and we're just here to talk.
Yes, we are going to be talking.
All right. So today we're gonna kind of talk different things. This is our first podcast. We don't know which language do we use. We do Swahili, French, English.
I think we can do a mix of both
Okay.
as long as we still get the message at the end. We still tunaeleweka na watu.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's our first podcast. We kind of we'll talk about a couple of things here and there. So let's get started. We personally have been married for the last 2 years. I got married on May 15th, if I'm not mistaken, May 15th, 2021. That's when I was married. And my brother.
I've been married for about a year and 11 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 11. Yeah, 10 months.
He's my older brother, but now I'm his older brother in his marriage. So
Yeah,
that's
you're the big little brother. That's how we call it, big little brother.
yeah. So let's talk today. What has been our experiences so far in marriage? How do we like marriage? And maybe also speak about challenges about marriage, because people wants to get married out there, but they face challenges. Maybe we can share our experiences. We are still young, but it's kind of a good time to talk about it and reflect about our marriages.
Yeah, it is a very interesting and not interesting, but it's a very important questions because personally, I would say that in every marriage, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
There is certain things that we have as expectations. Before you get married, there's like some expectation you have. I want to have a wife to be like this and that, etc. And when you get into a marriage, sometimes it's like the opposite, of what you're actually expecting. My experience has been great personally because I didn't have that many expectations in terms of what I want or what I'm expecting for my wife to be.
Actually, let's go back. Actually, even before you talk about that, let's talk about how did you meet your wife first?
Oh wow, that's a very So I met my wife in a very not so unique way. Because there's that age when you actually feel like, okay, now I'm ready. I want to find a wife.
Yeah.
Because I spent like years and years just messing around and having a good time. Dating here and there, having fun as a young man, as we all do, right?
Yeah.
But it did get to a point where I sat down. I was like, man, I need to have a partner, and that is what separates a girlfriend and a potential wife. You gotta come to the senses of like, hey, I want to have a partner. I want to have somebody. I want to have my better half. So it was around 2018.
Yeah. 2018.
2018. I was just living my life, living my best life, like most people say, and I saw this young lady. I met her through Facebook.
Facebook. Wow. Social media.
Facebook, social media.
Power of social media.
Power of social media. So I met her on Facebook.
Did you just see the picture ukapenda? You just like the picture?
I saw the picture, man.
Ukakufa.
And then I went and then I started reviewing her profile. And I started looking. I was like, wow.
Mama.
Mtoto ameumbika. Ile nyimbo yenye iko trend sasa hivi wakwambia eti mtoto mwenye kona nani ndio konaita nini ile nyimbo ile. Yeah, sema eti mtoto mwenye kona nani na chata. Yeah. Ni wabembe fulani wameimba. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know the song.
I was really
ulisikia coup de foudre.
I was like, this girl, man, she's fun. But the funny thing is she was far. She was in a different state. Right?
Okay.
And at that time I was like hoping to find somebody who's closer to me, because I was a student, I was working, and I'm like, I would like to have somebody, because a lot of my friends, they had girlfriends or fiance, and
yeah,
you see they come and they cook for them, they do laundries, they wash their clothes, they just treat them like so good. And I was like, man, I want to have a girl or perhaps a fiance who can start coming and show me that she have what it takes to be a wife.
Do the same, wife material.
Wife material. Anyway, long story short,
yeah,
we start chatting and stuff, and then I told her, I was like, hey, I'm interested.
Okay.
And then she's like, well, blah blah blah.
Just
But the funny thing
That's
is,
that's what women do, right?
and the funny thing is, she was actually in a relationship at that time,
Oh, okay.
and that's what you gotta know. You gotta go for what you want.
And you have to have those words, eh?
You gotta have those words.
Mistari.
She was in a relationship at the time,
Ah,
so I was kind of like a little, friend.
friend zone.
Best friend. She put me in a friend. It wasn't like a friend zone type of thing, but she was like, I was like, I want to be your friend. If there's any issue, you can talk to me, blah blah blah. But muro niko nasema
Ya wanamke vile tu.
huyu jamaa si afea atoke mpicha. Ingie pale. Sasa
Yeah.
ikafika tu ambao, and it's like I was actually praying for their relationship to actually
To end.
end. So the guy actually messed up, and she was telling me everything, and the funny thing, it's always funny, when you have a girl and she's talking to someone
Mm-hmm.
and they say, oh, he's just a friend, you have to be careful.
He's just a friend.
You have to be
Atabaki
careful with guys,
rafiki
right?
too. Yeah.
We were like talking for hours, bro. Like at nighttime, I'm getting off work, school, I'm done with everything. I'm on the phone for like 4-5 hours, and
With her.
keep in mind,
She's dating someone.
dating someone, right? And then guess what we are talking? Just story, how bad this guy is. He's mistreating her. He's doing this and this and this. And then guess what I'm doing? I'm being a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
Telling her,
Advising,
like, telling
you
her,
can
like,
do
"Hey,
this.
this is what a good woman should do. This is how a man should treat a good woman. What he's doing to you is not good.
Pole
This
pole
and
kuna
this and
jipanga
this."
panga na wewe tu pole pole
And
tu
then-
ingie tu
and then
mwaferi.
I wish I met you before I met this guy. And I'm like, it's not too late. It's not too late. Like, how long are you planning to suffer? How long are you planning to suffer with this guy? This
Yeah.
guy is, it doesn't have the best interest for you. Anyway, long story short, the end of 2018, she broke up with the guy. And then I was like, well, I hope you're not going to be dating anyone soon because you need to be healed.
Mm.
Do you get that?
Mhm.
You understand what this is?
Yeah.
about?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, well, yeah, I don't want, I was like,
You're giving the good
and I'm
advice,
like,
huh?
you don't, good advice, the best advice. And she actually saved me in her contact. She's like my advisor. Anyway,
Ushauri mwema.
Shauri mwema. Anyway, so later on as time progressed, Andrew, your neighbor here.
Yeah.
So he's an uncle to her.
Mm-hmm.
So Andrew was planning his wedding. Andrew invited me. He's like, hey, you my friend, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be getting married. And I was excited. Come to find out,
You're
she's
good.
going to be at the wedding.
Boom. Yeah, manze, you see,
And then,
weddings.
And then
Weddings.
when I went there, at first I was actually dodging her. I was like, no, I'm not going to come. Yes, I'm going to come. No, I'm not going to come. And at that time, actually, we got into a little argument. So we weren't talking for a couple weeks.
Why?
I don't know, just like I was playing hard to get to because
Okay.
I'm like, I don't want to be like,
Soft and
yeah.
easy.
So I'm like, well, you already drove me crazy, the past few months. So I don't want to look desperate. So I kind of cut the communication. And
Yeah.
whatnot. And then when I was the week of the wedding, I actually told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to this wedding, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, I'm going to a wedding too in Oregon. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe it's the same wedding. Maybe I'll see you there. Got there, and then, man, I actually saw her. She was one of the bridesmaids and everything.
And you saw an angel,
I
right?
text her actually. I was like, hey, if it's possible, I really, really want to see you, please.
Before I go back to Denver.
So, before actually the reception, I went there early. I met her. We talked. I gave her the hug. I was like, man, I finally met you in person. That was the first time we met in person.
How did you feel?
Oof, man.
Did you still breathe properly?
Oh my goodness, I was shaking at first. I was like, man, this girl, she's gonna think I'm a stranger. And then I was like, how is she gonna react? Because you know how you're talking to someone on
Yeah.
the phone,
Yeah.
and now you get to see the person. You're like,
In person.
oh, this is who I've been talking to all this time. So anyway, we chat it up, we talk and everything, and then she went in, and then they did the dance, and after the wedding, the receptions, we sat down and we talked. I told her my intention, and I was like, hey,
I want to marry you.
I'm ready to be in a relationship. With
Oh,
you.
relationship.
To have a serious relationship.
Were you still
So-
dating though someone else at that time? You
No,
yourself?
No, I wasn't dating. I wasn't dating. I was actually. I don't know how to describe it. You know.
You're like searching.
It was like in sports we call it free agent.
Free. So anywhere you can play.
So you-
yeah?
you
Whichever team wants
you-
you can play.
It was a tryout. It's called a tryout. So you come here, you try out. If you happen to be a good one, they give you a spot in the team. And if you
Crazy, man.
and if you're not good, then they tell you like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, but we have to part ways. Anyway, so when I actually told her, I was like, I want to actually have a serious relationship. I told her my intention. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for, and everything I'm looking for and everything I want, I actually see in you. I'm really serious about this.
And that was in 2018 still.
That was the August 2018.
So you met in 2018 on Facebook a couple of months
That was
before.
like beginning. Yes.
Like in January, February, and then in August
February.
you went to the wedding.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So we're talking.
Like, wait first. Like, did you just find her on Facebook, or someone sent, or how did your profile come to your Facebook?
You know the mutual friend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, did you go to someone's friends and look at her friends, or what?
No. So this is it. This is how it works. When you're a friend on Facebook with someone, some of your friend they're gonna pop in my screen.
Oh, so she just popped up.
Yeah.
and you
know,
saw
And then I was like, oh, this.
Hapa kuna kitu
cute.
hapa.
You know, I was like, hold up. But I'm not good with just one picture, so I click on her profile.
And you went.
And then I started looking. I was like, whoa.
You know what? I'll try to look at her profile and put them on this video so that you can see what she was seeing. Maybe if you allow me to do that.
No.
So why you know what?
No, that's my wife. now.
Mafisi kule ziko nje. Yeah, that's actually a good story on how you met your wife.
That's kind of how we met, and the rest
Is history.
That's history, man. And but like I said, it wasn't an easy journey. You know, sometimes we talk and you're like, man, this was just so easy, but it wasn't an easy journey because there was a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like today I'm just gonna interview you. I won't share my story because
No, I want you to
no,
say your story.
because I really wanna. I can share mine later, but I just wanna like hear more about it. So you met her at the wedding.
Mhm.
What came next?
What came next actually was the night after the wedding, right?
Wait. The night after the wedding, so on Sunday,
On Sunday morning.
bro. Jamani fisi manze. What did you do on Sunday morning?
No, listen. So this is the thing. So we had that little chats that night, right? So pretty much I just told her my intention and everything, and I went to bed. And that night, bro, we're just chatting. I didn't even sleep, man. I had like goosebumps all my body.
Ah,
And I'm like,
yeah,
this is
man.
man. And then the guy I was actually sleeping with, sharing the bed, because
I thought you're sleeping with a guy, man. Bro.
The guy that I
Just
shared the room
Just to be clear, you are not gay. You're not.
No,
just to
no,
be
no,
clear,
no.
he was not sleeping with a man.
No,
He was sharing a room with a man.
sharing a room with a man.
Okay, because
So-
man, life has changed here, bro.
Right. We have to be careful.
Yeah.
So the thing is, the guy that I shared the room with,
Uh-huh.
he was actually asking me, he's like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, you're just in a different mood tonight. Like,
Looking
is
so
everything
happy, looking
alright? I was
so
like, man, you have no idea what I'm doing right
missing
now.
something.
So, excuse me. The Sunday morning, because that's when she told me, she's like, we're going to leave the morning, going back. I was like, wow, I would like to see you and probably say goodbye. She's like, yeah, I'll stop by at the house.
Oh, where you are sleeping at?
Yeah, no. So, Andrew's house.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's where everybody was meeting and kind of having a breakfast before they take over. So, the funny thing, I got to meet her dad.
Oh, your father, your potential father-in-law,
My potential father,
who is now your father-in-law.
who's now my father-in-law.
Yeah.
So I met him that morning. She came, we're talking, and then he came and he was like,
Did he know?
"Who's this?" No.
Okay.
And then she was like, "Oh, that's my friend." Your friend? He's like, "Yeah."
Mzee kamezea.
And then I introduced myself. I was like, "Hello, sir. My name is, Pacific. Blah blah blah." He was like, "What?" So we didn't have a good meeting.
That time.
We didn't. He was like, "No,
He's just a
my daughter
cannot go to this kind of
He was
man.
like, my daughter cannot be married with someone like you." And I was like,
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
The
bro.
same day.
The same day.
Hey, father-in-law, take. You know.
And
You
then-
know.
and
You
then-
never know.
And then I
You
told
never
her,
know.
I was like, why does your dad say that? She's like, well, I don't know, but don't mind him. I'm like, man, he doesn't even know me, and he just
Bro,
straight
maybe,
up. He's like, well, my daughter cannot be married with someone like.
well, maybe the way you're appearing, maybe the way you're dressing, maybe the way maybe your hair was. I don't know how your hair was. I don't know. Who knows?
Anyway, so I told her, I was like, hey, it's cool, man. It's cool. Have a safe trip. And then after that, that's when we actually start dating. And I told her, I was like, hey, I don't know about your dad, this and this and that. So yeah, man.
Yeah, that's kind of good story. I'll share mine very briefly. I'll just be very brief. I met my wife actually, the first time I met my wife was first physically meeting my wife was in 2019, and that was on December 29th, 2019. But we knew each other for a long time. So we knew each other since 2014. So actually, I knew her from a friend who's called Christian, a very good friend of mine who went to school together. He's like, hey, you know what? I have a young sister. She's really small that, you never know. He's like, you never know. She's too small.
So your friend introduced
Wait,
you.
she was in primary school then.
Wow.
So I'm whispering.
So now we can actually.
Well, I mean, if she wants to take me to court later, because she can take me to court. But the thing is, like, she was too young. Then I was like, she's too young. We started talking. She was actually in Canada. I was in Kenya by that time.
Okay.
So I never had thoughts of going to America or Canada. I was like, I'm just wasting my time.
And that was 2014.
That was 2014. Started dating, I won't say even dating. We started talking. I think maybe she did consider it as dating at that time because she was young. I was just a freshman in college. We started talking and talking. We kind of developed a bond with her for such a long period of time. But then it reached a point where I asked her, hey, you know what? We need to take a pause. Part of it is because I was feeling like we are too far away. She's in Canada. I'm in Kenya. I mean, she loves me. I love her, but she's too young. She's very young to be in a relationship. So I was like, let's take a pause. I'm not ending a relationship, but just let's take a pause. Pause it to see ndele kwa sana. I think she did not view it very well. She was upset with me. Oh, there's no pause in relationship, blah, blah, blah. Mingi too. But to be honest, at that time, I was, she was too far away. I started dating other folks. Me, I'll be honest. I started dating other folks who are closer to me.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
What was your point of view for long distance relationship?
Well, that's kind of what I'm going to, because it was hard. But I came to realize that I love long distance relationship than close, because when you are too close, you meet each other. Sometimes these ladies, but they want to see you. You want to do this, do that. So sometimes it's good, but if it's too much, it just becomes annoying, And that I felt like that's kind of how I am. So I like being far, because I'd rather spend like 2 hours on a phone with you. I'll be paying attention to you doing some other stuff, but to me it works fine. But when I started dating, that's where I was going. I started dating in Kenya, women who are close to me. You know what happened to me? I had a 4.0 GPA and I went to 3.0 GPA because I was close to this girl I was dating. Yeah, because she wanted to be with me at that time. We wanted to hang out together, go and do that, go and do this. So it was really, 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 really time consuming. So and then
So what you're saying is you're more distracted when it's with someone, or would you say that you get bored?
No, back then I was still in school. Of course, right now, married, she's with me every time, so I'm not distracted. So I'm even happy she's here, because just look at me. That's not the way I was before. Yeah. But back then, because I was in school, it was really distracting. And that's why, like, if you're in school, I wouldn't advise people to focus more on relationships and love. It will be good to have someone, a companion, a friend to be with, but love, everything has its own time. So to me, it was really distracting.
So would you say it's better to have a friend of benefits?
No, there's no.
Rather than
there is nothing as friends of. There's nothing as friends of benefit. that's just a word that is covering prostitution or covering fornication. There's no such thing. It's like being as like, it's like telling a lion, you know what? This zebra here, it's gonna be a friend. You won't eat it. It's just gonna be a friend. Whenever you want to go to hunt, it's gonna take you. One day the lion is gonna eat you. Yeah, the lion is gonna eat you eventually. So there's no such thing as friend of benefit between man and woman.
Benefits.
There's nothing like a friend of benefit between men and women. So anyways, I dated a couple of girls in Kenya. I mean, I still talk to some of my exes actually today. That's another topic for another day. But and my wife knows that actually. I give some advice. But anyways, I came to realize that it's not working, and I just need to go back to her. So eventually, I got an opportunity to come back to America. And you know what my wife did actually at that time? Alikuwa ananilumisha roho mshedi. Kama actually even her akaanza kudate kwenye aliku.
So she was dating.
She started dating. Then funny thing, she used to send me everything. Like, I went with this guy, I kissed him, I did this. I mean, to the point whereby she wants me to feel
man.
to feel bad that okay, you'll have to, like, I didn't leave you, I just took a pause.
Right.
And I was like, I don't care what you're doing. I just know that in me, you're still my wife. It hurt me at some point. I was feeling very bad, but I can't control it.
Yeah.
So I came.
She have the right to do whatever makes her happy.
That's I don't know about that, but yeah, she
has
has.
the right.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, she
Then
wasn't your wife. She wasn't your girlfriend.
that's true, but we never broke up. We just took a pause.
Yeah, but there's not such a thing as a pause.
When that's you.
No, there's just not such a thing as a
Well,
pause.
I took it as a pause.
It's like in a marriage and you're like, okay, we're gonna take a pause in a marriage.
No, there's no pause in
That's
marriage.
the same thing in a
No
relationship.
relationship, you can take a pause
No,
if
you
if,
can't.
if you wanna focus on something.
This is a thing, actually I had this girl, right?
Mhm.
And then we dated, right? And then I actually presenting the idea of like, hey, since we are too busy right now and this and that, how about we take a pause?
Yeah.
You know what she told me?
Mhm.
She's like, there's not such a thing as a pause. Either you have me or you don't have me.
All right, viewers, tell us in the comments:
Yes.
is there such thing as a pause in a relationship? We're gonna read your comments later, but I mean, we have two different views here.
Yes.
So
Let
tell
us
us.
know, are there such a thing as a pause in a relationship?
Yeah. So, anyways, to continue the story about how I met my wife. So then I came to America in 2017, and I was like, I remember I promised my wife when I was still in Kenya that, you know what, I'm going to attend your graduation, your high school graduation. I never know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen. I was like, I'm going to attend it one day. So eventually, I went I came to America, and she was graduating next year in 2018. So I was like, hey, babe. I was calling her wife. Hey, my wife. That time, I'm going to come to your graduation. I was like, you're in Kenya, right? I don't want to see you. I don't want to, I'm in the States. I thought she's gonna be like, oh, you're in the US. Okay, you're closer to me. She didn't care. I was like, oh my goodness, she's not even caring.
She brushed it off.
She was like, you're in the States? Okay. She was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, she's already in Canada, so she couldn't have any effect on that. But I was like, I'm gonna come to your graduation. So at that time, she was dating this guy, and she told me not to come, blah blah blah. But then, you know what? God does this stuff. The guy that she was dating at that time, they had some problems, and me, I was dating another girl in Kenya. When I was here, we had some problems. Then later, I was like, maybe we're just meant for each other. Nothing is happening on your side. Nothing is happening on my side. Let's give it a chance. So she was like, I don't want you anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. All that. But like you said, I kept what I want. I kept pushing for it. I kept pursuing it. I kept putting some oil. Changing that oil.
You gotta fight for what you
Every 5,000 miles, I change the oil. I change the brakes. I change the tactics. Eventually, she was like, let's try and just give it a try. Yeah, let's give it a try. And the try came a try. Then I remember that year in 2018 or 2019, my father-in-law was going to Africa. So she was like, babe, dad is going to Africa, and I want him to meet your dad. She was the one who came up with the idea. I didn't have the idea. Wow. I want him to meet your dad. I was like, oh wow, you want him to meet my dad right now? Yes. I was like, your dad is going in the 2 days. How are you gonna tell him? I'll just tell him. Don't worry about it. And that's kind of how things started. So eventually my father-in-law met my dad Actually, they met. Our parents met before we met. And then I was like, we need to get married, but it's too early. You're still in high school. Go to school first, like, cause I'm really a person who wants to go to school. So like, first go to school. We can plan on it maybe in the next 3 years. Our goal was 3 years. That was 2018. Like 2021, we can start thinking about marriage. But before that, we need to see each other. She came from this family. Our African families, men. You know, a woman can't go and see a man. Yeah, it's you, the man who wants to come. And again, I had issues. I didn't have my visa to Canada. It's just impossible for me to leave America to go to see her. And I can't just marry someone I haven't seen. Anyways, long story short, I was like, I need to meet you before I get even marry you. I mean. So eventually, I don't know, because when the woman loves, she will do the impossible to make it happen.
They will do anything.
So she became upset. She couldn't eat. She couldn't do anything in the house. And my mother-in-law was like, hey, papa, mtoto huyu tukimwacha hivi tutarisikia kumpoteza, tumwache tu aende aone nani. Because me personally, I could have gone if I had the documents to go to Canada.
And you did explain
the reason.
The reason.
Yeah, because if I had like my documents, my visa to Canada, I could have gone it like right out. It's only like 10 hours. I could have been drive.
I'm sure you could have been going there every weekend.
Probably even twice a week, you know.
Because the way you were obsessed, man.
Oh, bro, you remember that time, man? I was in love. Niko mapenzi. But long story short, eventually we met. Our parents finally agreed, and I thanked them for that. They trusted me, but she didn't come by herself. I wish she came by herself because we could have had more time, but she.
You guys could have had Amini before then.
But
you guys could have had Imani before me.
So you know what? My mother-in-law actually came. My sister-in-law came. Yeah. We had some good time, and that's when I was like, I told you actually, Pacific, I was like, I'm going to meet my fiance, dude. I'm going to propose to her if I like her. So I went with the mind like I'm going to propose.
You're ready.
I had my ring. I had everything. It's like if I like her, I'm gonna propose it. If I don't like her, I'm gonna come back with my stuff.
So really quick though. You going to meet your potential wife, right? For the first time. I mean, what was the things of like if I like her when you already established A, B, C, D, like you guys have been talking for this long, you already know this is the one I want to be with. And now you bring in the if I like her, like what was that?
I mean, appearance. I mean, to be honest, you need to like someone both physically and also both how they look like, mentally, because you can talk to someone on phone, but you don't know how they react. You know.
You guys were not talking on FaceTime.
I mean, you can talk on.
It was already evolved.
Yeah, we used to talk even on Telegram actually. Before then, it was Telegram that we used to use and Skype.
There you go.
But the thing is, like those kind of, maybe she has makeup when we talk or something. But I wanted first to meet like, yes, can you material me because it's gonna be yours.
Is this number 10?
So it's like that physical connection is really important before you get married. Not physical like going to sleep, that like physical meeting physically. Right. Also testing the partner, see how they're gonna react when you do a mistake. See how they're gonna, because sometimes they can hide, Right. But man, when I saw her, I was like, bro, nilipoteza connection. Network ilipotea. I lost. Then my father-in-law actually, you know what he did? Because I wanted to propose, then my father-in-law was like, nope, I don't want all of those stupidity and kizunguzungu. Everything has to go culturally. I was like, culturally? How is this possible? But he first asked me this. Did you like what you see?
Your father-in-law asked you that?
I mean, it's like, did you like her? So it's like, I did you like her,
Were you satisfied?
Yeah, like what do you see? Like, did you like her? Right. I was like, yes, Papa, thank you. So that is like, are you still gonna, because I already told my father-in-law about my plans of proposing, but I told her clearly that I need first of all to see my fiance before I do the proposal. But I wanted first to get your blessings before I do it. I just don't want to do things for the sake of doing it. I want to first get your blessings.
I want to make sure you're happy. You're okay with
happy.
What you're doing.
And I was like, okay, that's fine. You guys, you can do whatever you want. But then on Monday, because they came on Sunday, on Monday he called me. That same night, it was like 1 a.m. Do you like what you see? Do you like her? Do you like, yes, Papa, thank you. So then the rest is history. I went and did my proposal on January 1st, 2020. And that was my first time really to meet my wife. So we did 2 proposals. One for the normal one,
Traditionally,
where I get the chicken and all that, and the next one,
ngina
ya kizungu sasa. Man, that's kind of how I met my wife. Now we are married 2 years. Like I said, we have one son who's like 6 months now. Today is turning 6 months today, actually. So and yeah. So actually, with that, now let's go into our topic that of today, because we
have a topic here.
We're gonna speak for 30 minutes. So the thing is
about relationship and marriage
challenges.
Challenge in marriage.
So I'll ask maybe a couple of questions. So what did you expect about marriage when you got married?
What was I expecting? Well, the expectation was up to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. Just like I said earlier, we all have expectations, and sometimes we meet those expectations, and sometimes we do not meet those expectations. But the best part I always say is just it's okay to have expectation, but don't have too many expectations.
Too much, yeah.
Because when you have too many expectations, then you are welcoming failure, because it's hard to really meet a person with 100% of what
Close to your mic.
A person who has 100% of what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
I remember, let me give you a little story. When I was a young man, back in high school, just in my prime, I was like, man, my friends are like, what type of girls do you like? What's your type? I'm like, man, I want a girl who's, not tall, not short, a girl who's like, Coca-Cola shape,
Not like this.
No, not that one. Definitely not that one.
And that big Coca-Cola, right? The big one for Congo.
Yes. A girl who's smart, athletic, the one that can cook, God-fearing. She knows how to talk to people. She knows how to talk to my friends. She knows how to talk to my family. She knows how to dress. She have natural beauty. She's not rely on makeup too much. And so many criteria, right?
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Even women do have those types. But when I came to realize, as I'm getting older, I realized that, most of the times that woman that we have in our mind does not exist.
Mm-hmm.
The best woman is the woman that you
create.
You gotta create that woman that you want it to be, right?
Yeah.
Let's say your woman is overweight. Take her to the gym,
Yeah.
Start working. Get a trainer, and those kind of things. Get a membership and have her become the woman that you want. You don't like how she dressed. You don't like how she look. Take her to shopping and those kind of things. So my expectation really was not much, other than I just want to have a woman who will love me, understand me, and be there to support me, and to be there for me for good and bad, for better and for worse. Other things, other expectation really are just in my head. It's not like a must, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one really come perfect, because if I want this and this and this and this and this into this poor lady, she comes with expectation as well.
Yeah, some men want, like, I want to have a woman who's like my mother,
right?
Or I don't know.
And then that can be a definition of your own, because we don't know how your mother is.
Mm-hmm.
The only person who knows how your mother is your father.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's true.
If you say you want to have a woman who's like your mother, then you know what type of woman is your mother.
So
I can't. So for me, really, I didn't really put too much expectations, because I was like, you know what? All I need is a woman who, first, love God. Second, love me through thick and thin. Third, respect me.
And I know you went through. Maybe we'll speak about it maybe later in some of our shows. You went through some challenges prior to the wedding and all that. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. But so after you got married, how was it like the first night?
Oof. It was a different experience.
Mm-hmm. If you're okay sharing, just tell us.
It was a different experience. I'm gonna keep a little PC,
mm-hmm.
Because there's some detail that I can't really share.
Well, we're trying to advise folks here who want to get married. Like,
Well,
maybe we should just have a day to talk about that the first night.
well, we should.
Okay.
We should, because it was a unique experience.
Yeah.
Let me just say that. And keep in mind, and I think I did speak to you too off the air before. You know, we always talk about the first day experience. It's actually different too for everybody. You know that we don't all have the same experience.
So
Because the viewers out there, they might have this particular expectation. They're like, okay, you know
these
what?
people
Leo.
leo ni moto.
Hawatala-
Mungu alinena
But-
naye Musa hicho kiatu.
Kivue. The
Yeah.
funny thing is, we all do have a different experience. Kuko mtu mnakutana ile the first night anakuambia pengine ni mgonjwa, ni mzaifu, right?
Mgonjwa, as in, then how did she do the wedding na ni mgonjwa?
Inawezekana nguvu za Roho Mtakatifu. Inawezekana.
Bro, tell me,
Inawezekana.
no, let's be honest, mgonjwa like anagonjwa ama namna gani?
Anagonjwa. Anagonjwa.
Wait, you go to the church, mnamaliza kanisa,
Unaanza kanisa.
you go to the reception, you
Unaenda
dance,
reception,
ifika usiku waambie mimi nagonjwa.
Unafika usiku anakuambia mimi najisikia mwili.
Bro, you got a fake package ile Amazon ile
No.
aba kudeliver mzuri
My
package.
brother, I'm telling you this straight up.
Ama mchoko njo. Or maybe they're tired.
There is a tiring part when muchoko it can be an effect. Na kuna ingine ambayo ni mgonjwa.
Okay. We'll talk about it. Let's not go deep. Maybe that's going to be another talk. If you want us to talk about it, we can
Yes.
talk about it. We are here to advise. But
Yes.
then, okay. So the first night was different for you.
So the first night was very different for me. Actually, it wasn't the first night. It was the first week.
Okay.
It was the first week.
First week.
Yes.
Ha.
Yeah. She was sick the whole week, which was great. Actually,
Was great?
it was
Bro.
great. You know, it was great because I got to see how she really acts when she's sick.
Did she open up with you at that first week, or she was?
No, she was very yeah, she was very.
Were you guys shy or the first?
No.
Because I remember me and my wife, it took us a couple of time to get used to each other.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, for us, I think that 1 week, that 1 week off kind of helped. Kind of build
The trust and
chemistry and momentum and the
Yeah.
trust. So when we actually went to the
Second
altar,
week.
to the altar for praise and worship, man, we were already in spirit. Tulikuwa tushakuwa kiroho.
ora kwa shashuka kabisa.
Roho alikuwa shashuka
Make-
kwa sababu pamoja nasi tukaanza msifa na
Kuongea kwa lugha.
kunena kwa lugha yote.
Amen. Na mkona maono kule vile.
Maono yalipatikana.
So now, what kind of challenges have you? Because we kind of have a couple of minutes left here. What kind of challenges, since you have been married, have you experienced? Just list me the challenges. Then we're gonna talk how you've overcome them. Just
So-
give me maybe like 2 or 3 or 4.
So some challenge that we can talk about, it's adjustment. For me, I can say adjustment. You know,
Yep.
it's two people that come together as one for the first time. You know, I got used to live my life as a single guy.
Yeah.
You know? There is a way I go about my things. There is a way I do things. I like things to be done in certain order. And now I have another person in the picture, so it's that adjustment.
Okay.
That's one. Secondly, the expectations. You know,
Okay.
I can go a little bit in a personal note. You know, especially us as Africans, you got married. And,
Yeah.
there's expectation of having kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially from the parents. They're like, oh,
They're counting 9 months.
Bananza could count 9 months from the day you guys are
Yeah.
getting married.
That's a topic we need to talk
You know?
about.
And then huku pengine nyinyi pengine mko na plani zenu, personal plans, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, my wife, she's like, well, I want to go back to school. I want to finish this. I want to this and this and this. And for me too, I was like, well, I want to be financially
Free.
free.
Yeah.
Right? Because first of all, the wedding, it is expensive.
Yeah.
You know? You spend a lot of money and
Not a word.
sasa kuna wengine wanaingia kwenye deni.
Yeah, that's true.
Sasa I was like, no, you know what? I want to make sure before we bring the idea of having kids, we need to make sure we focus on A, B, C, D.
And have a plan.
Have a plan.
Yeah.
But kitu kingine pia tunashindwa kuelewa sana hata ndugu zetu wazazi wa Afrika pia, it's God, you know.
Yeah.
When we think of kids, it's not up to mankind. It is a God that
who provide
to make it.
So you mentioned the first was adjusting, the second was expectation. What is the third challenge?
Third, just understanding.
Okay, like comprehension. Donc understanding each
one
other.
Another, because there's things that sometimes you say or you want it to be done, and
because you're used to certain way, and
takupatia mfano, which something that you can relate it to, like, you know, when it comes to cooking of food, you know, she loves to cook. Sometimes she cook a lot of food, and it's only two of us, right?
Yeah,
I
really had that challenge. We are throwing food here.
I'm not gonna have a food in the fridge for over a week.
Yeah.
So ikishakamle over a week,
chakula na pesa zinaribika bure
no, we have to throw it away,
bro.
And then me here, I'm like, no, that's money.
That's money we're wasting, man. Yeah.
You know, so that understanding, that was a bit of a challenge as well.
Okay. So you mentioned adjustment, expectations, and understanding. Any other fourth? Because I just want us to list them, then we can discuss about it. Because in the next couple of minutes,
I think those would be for me.
Yeah. So as for me, really, when I got married, I mean, I will not speak about my first night. Maybe that's another topic you can speak because of time. But it was great. It was good.
I bet you was.
It was good.
Yeah, bet you was.
It was good, man.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
Very good.
Okay. Okay, now.
Anyways, yeah. So challenges that I've seen in marriage is, to me, first of all, was like you said, adjusting, and also knowing, or especially like knowing who does what. You know, you can speak about marriage like we'll be doing this, but whenever you get into marriage,
everybody's role.
Yeah, like
which role do I play?
Like my wife will be like, because I've been cooking by myself, right? I've been cooking for so many years. But now it's like, no, this place is mine. Then sometimes I'll just go into like understanding your role and understanding your task. It took us some time to get over that. That was a very big challenge, and I really encourage people to have time to talk about it. What's gonna be your contribution? What are you bringing on the table, and what are you gonna be playing? The third challenge was to me was to be honest, was knowing how to adjust everything like schedule wise, because I was believing myself. I could go and meet my friends whenever I can. I could come home whenever I can. So right now I have to put my wife first, and my friends kind of may feel like hujama the PO, and so like knowing how to balance things it was very challenging for the first couple of months to me. And another thing was that like we were wasting a lot of stuff, and like me I'm from a poor family. I come from Congo in Panzi. It's very poor, and I'm not used to throwing food. My wife is like, you can give me unapata nyama tatu hapa, ndakula nyama moja na bugali yote, and the nyama zingine zinabakia paske niko mtu kubebeza chakula. Sasa yangu yeye anakula pa babe, imakupesha maliza sasa na vingine viko mutrash. So like kind of knowing that, also knowing it's just kind of what you say there, like expectations, and also like that understanding. Like I need to understand you, I need to understand where you come from. So those were really some of the challenges that I have seen. Apart from that, there is day-to-day challenges, like leo mnakosana kidogo, I'm just mentioning like for 2 or 3 days, but 2 or 3 days, iko mingi. That hasn't happened, but those things comes up. I haven't had any challenges about like brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, mothers-in-law. I haven't got that, and I hope I won't get that. But really, those are some of the things that to me I've seen in marriage. So maybe the second question that we're going to do is how to overcome them. So I'll start, and then maybe you can take, because we only have like 5 minutes left for our first podcast. We're going to be bringing you more of this conversation. If you like them, just tell us what to talk about, and we'll be there.
And really quick,
just
a reminder, the topic, it's about challenges in marriage for
newlywed couple.
For newer, yeah, you know, for
Or
those
if-
who are still new in their marriage,
Yeah.
some challenge, some ups and downs, and some adjustments.
And this is part 1 because there's a lot. We're gonna have a part 2.
We're gonna have a part 2, part 3, and hopefully part 4, depending on how many feedback we get.
Yeah. So how to overcome those challenges? To me, I'll first stay with communication. Communication is a very key component in marriage. That if you two communicate and understand each other, you can wash all your differences together. If you, because everything comes to communication. If I came up to I grew up from a poor family, and my wife does things suddenly, if I don't talk to her or if she doesn't talk to me, hey mume wangu. But one thing I've noticed about women, they are so quiet. They don't want to speak. Maybe in the sense of maybe not trying to offend you or trying to do something wrong, but I always tell my wife, hey, talk to me, let's talk. Let's sit down and talk. If I did something wrong, talk to me. Wanangu, this is wrong, and I'll try to correct myself next time. But if you don't tell me, I won't know if I did something wrong. So communication is a very key component of overcoming those challenges, especially even when we go deep to I haven't had any issues with like in the bedroom stuff, like ile kusoma katiba. I haven't had any problem with that, but maybe later, like unakuwa mgonjwa, like you, like a case, I bet you communicated with your wife, okay, and unamwelewa because she talked to you and explained to you. So I feel like to me, communication is a very big component in marriage to resolve many, if not most, of the challenges.
Speaking of communication, I think because it's something that I've seen it in my life as well, and this is what I came to understand or to kind of observe. Yes, we as men, we want to communicate, and we want our wives, women, to communicate with us, right? But most women's, they will just watch you.
Yep. Which I don't like.
They'll give you silence. They will act in a very funny way. But this is the thing, because I actually had to talk to my wife, and I had her open up to me. She's like, the thing is, you want to communicate, but do you really give me a time to talk? And when I'm talking, do you actually understand what I'm saying?
And what's a good time, if I ask you, to help our folks?
What is a good time? It's a great question. I think for me, I preferred when we done with everything, we in bed. And then normally I just tell her like, hey, I'm gonna need to talk to you today.
Okay.
Let's have a talk, So if we have anything, let's make sure we get everything done quicker, and then we have enough time to talk. And then we'll do that, and then like, okay, now I'm ready, and then I tell her 1, 2, 3. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. This is what I don't understand it. So rather than me telling, I'm like, I don't tell her like I don't like this. Just tell her like, hey, I'm not really understanding this. Can you explain it to me? Why this is going?
As if you're not attacking her, but you're just like trying to
right.
make yourself understanding and understood.
Because what does the Bible tell us? The Bible tells us that we are their protector, right?
Yep.
We are the leader. As a leader, you can't really rule to someone angry.
Yeah.
Or you can really talk to someone as if you are fighting them.
Yeah.
You gotta talk to them as if you are trying to relate what they are doing.
Yeah.
In order for you to have a clear understanding of what they might be going through, right?
Yeah.
And this is what she told me. She's like, sometimes I say things or I want some things to be done. Excuse me, but you don't really understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how am I not understand it? Can you make me understand? She's like, well, you do this and this and this and that. Even after we talk, you end up doing this and this and this and that. And I was like, are you right? Because if I was actually listening and paying attention to what you wanted to be done, then I could have understand you. Because women sometimes they talk in mumafumbo,
Yeah.
yes. Unaona. Bana kuambia, wana communicate with you na verbally. Men, we communicate verbally. Na kuambia, hey, mimi nataka hiki na hiki na hiki na hiki. Wao watakufanyia vitu tu.
They talk in actions.
In action, yes. Unaona. So, as men, if we really sit back and observe what they are doing and really pay attention to what they are doing, then we might have a very good understanding or communicating. Because tuseme mfano mtoto konalia, anaona mtoto konalia na uko pale, yeye iko kubize konatengeneza msosi nini, she wants you to know, hey,
the
I am
baby's
doing
crying.
something, can you at least watch the baby?
Yeah.
Unaona, sometimes anakuja anakutona, bwanangu unakuja unasema mimi nataka nifanye hiki, niingie kumafiga, right?
Yeah.
I've seen that even to my wife. Niingie kumafiga no, what she wants is you to just be there. Do you understand that part of communication?
Yeah.
Kama niko napika, okay, let me just nikate matungulu ya vile. Kama niko na skula niko tu niko napanguza masani na tia kabati. That's how she communicated. She's not gonna tell you, hey baby, this is what I would like. When I'm doing this, I want you to come and do this and this and this. No.
Then the funny thing, if you don't do it, they get upset.
Right. So she wants to talk to you in a way where it's a bit different.
Yeah.
And yes, they say wanasema kwamba wanaume tunakuwa slow. We are slow learner. Because the way we see things and the way they see things, it's two different way. Yeah. The way they want to go about things, it's different than how we want it.
Yeah.
Unaona. So ni vizuri sana kutenga muda kukaa na kumsikiliza mwanamke, mke wako msikilize, what exactly does she want? How does she want to communicate? Kukole mwanakwambia, well, I just don't want to talk too much.
And there are those kind of 7 languages of communication, that so technically you need to learn how does your wife wants to be communicated, how and when and where, because not every place is a place to communicate. Not every time is a time to communicate. And
I'm going to give you a good example too. There's this one time she's like, I don't know what we're doing. And then she's like, well, it's funny, every time niko naongea unakuwa unanicut short. That turned them off. Pale kwenye uko naongea unamkatiliza, anakuwa na give up the whole conversation. Mama, mbona ongea tena? It's okay. Jua anaona every time nikiongea huyu baba anakuwa anafanya nini? Ananikupeka parole.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to really pay attention. I think it's really good to have a clear understanding. Na ni vizuri weka vile mwanaume kuetidie mke wako.
Yeah.
Unatakiwa kuetidie, unaangalia okay, faiblesse yake ni nini? Kitu gani kinamfurahishaka?
Yeah.
Nini ambayo minafaka mbele na upset the most?
Yeah.
Unaona. So ukishakuwa na ile understanding, then mtakuwa vizuri.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up. We are talking about marriage and challenges in marriage for the first 2 years. We have been both married for the last 2 years, and we are sharing our experiences. We on this show we mentioned some of the challenges we experienced, like adjusting expectations, also like understanding, and also like knowing your role. But again, we kind of come up to conclusion that the best thing to overcome these challenges is to communicate with your spouse, communicate with your wife, and learn your wife and know her. So I'm gonna as we end, I'm gonna give an advice to men. He's gonna give one advice to men, and then we just wrap it up. If you want us to talk about something else next time, you will be able to talk us. This is Emmanuel again, and this is Pacific. And the advice the advice I'm gonna give to men today: hey, don't drink sweet things all the time. Drink bitter stuff like this. This is ginger, so it's gonna help you.
Yeah, my advice: put God first. Put God first, and then the rest, it's just history, man. Because ukiingia mundoa with your understanding of marriage, unaweza kaenda, hakunaga masomo ya ndoa. You know that. Kwa masomo kwenda unafundisha gari, unapata cheti, unaenda unafanya upiloto, unapata cheti, lakini ndoa inaga masomo. Nienda tu unaonekana na wazee wanakuambia 1 2 3 boom, unaona ndo nao. But marriage as marriage iko ni kitu ambacho haiko kitu kia rahisi sana. So unaweza kaingia mule na akili zako na madegree na nini, lakini kama hautie Mungu ndani, ni bora utaingia maisha moyo ambayo ya kunungunika na kupigana na kujibizana na all sort of stuff. So put God first, and the rest you will witness yourself. It's sweet. Marriage is great.
And with that, we come to an end of our first podcast. See you soon and talk to you later. Bye.
Ciao.